going to just invite up Jenny Rowe, who is she hosts one of our groups. So Jenny, come right to the front as well, please. Which side are you going on? Okay. So Jenny she's a mum, she's a wife, she's full-time, she works full-time, so she is busy, and yet she understands the importance of life groups and being part of a group of people all wanting to grow spiritually. So firstly, Jenny, why don't you just share with everyone, how did you even come to be at Southern Lights? Okay, so Scott, I don't know if he's here yet, but he should be. Anyway, oops, that's right. You're caught out, Scott, if you're not here.
That's right. We lived in the city and we were going to a church in Paran. And our friends bought a house down here, so they were close friends, and they said, you need to come down here, it's affordable. So we purchased a property down here as well. And we were travelling to the city every week and, to go to church in there, and it was getting a bit too, sometimes an hour and a bit to go in there. So we decided to look for a church down here. And seriously, we went to so many churches. We went to some in Cranbourne, Berwick, Dandenong, and, sometimes because we had little children, or one little child, because Charlotte was born when we were in Coringal, the Coringal church, when the church was in Coringal. And, people would say, judge us because our children, Madeline was dropping crumbs on the floor. And so I think, we kept coming back to Southern Lights. People were so welcoming here, and, I think that, out of all the churches that we went to, we just kept coming back. So, we resigned from our positions at Paran Church and decided to make this our home. So we were at the... when we were in a building in, where was it? Leisureland, and then another one in Coringal, and then, I think one more, and then here.
So Jenny's giving you a bit of a history as well as the church.
That's right.
She's been around way longer than
25 years, so a long time.
So if you want to know anything more about the history of Southern Lights, go talk to her after the service. Don't come to me.
So I've been here a long time.
But Jenny, you've just recently started up a life group, one of our small groups, and
yes.
you're the host of that group. So tell us a little bit about why you decided to be a host of a life group and what your life group looks like.
I suppose really it's not a recent thing because we had it running through COVID. So, we did it on Zoom for a couple of years. And, people zoomed in from Queensland and, of course from their home here. And, I think that we really built a great rapport with each other. And then, of course, now we're meeting face-to-face, which is so much better. And I think that, as a host, you want to see people grow spiritually. You want to form good friendships, great friendships with them. So I think it's yes, you come to church on Sunday, but it's really in the life groups that you get to know people well, and you really, journey together, seeking Jesus. So it's awesome.
And we're very grateful for the part you play. Now, over the past 4 weeks, we've been hearing about the 7 core spiritual practices, or 7 of them. What one or which ones have impacted your life, and what does that look like?
Yeah, I think the ones that have really impacted me is simplicity and minimalisation. Yeah. At the start of the year, I buy a lot of cookery books, a lot of them, because I love cooking. And I decided at the start of the year that I wasn't going to buy any this year. So I borrow them from the library in big piles of them. But I think that was just part of, becoming simple, the simplicity of it, not to have books everywhere. And I think that was one thing. Now I really think about also clothes and things like that, and this is a bit of a funny story, but Del and I were in TK Maxx yesterday, and there was a really lovely dish from Portugal. It was only like $11. And I said, would Pastor Caleb be happy about me buying this? And I go,
We can ask him in a moment.
that's right. And I said to Dylan, I said, yes, he would, because do you know what? I'm going to cook something in it. And Jordan and Laura came over for dinner last night, and I think, yes, that was part of the community, and that's the second thing. It's about community and cooking. So I think, yes, it was like a dual purpose. And I thought, yeah, Pastor Caleb would be very happy about this. So I think simplicity and also the community that, you know, I think that having people over, you know, friends over, and, you know, sharing food around a table is so much a part of community, and I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just my final question, how have the spiritual practices outworked through your life group?
I think that, you know, we've had really great discussions, you know, about every one of them. The fasting practice, you know, the community, the simplicity, and what's the other one?
Abiding?
Abiding, yes, abiding, and, you know, doing that, repeating the abiding in me, or, you know, and I think that we've certainly had great discussions around them. And I think the practices that, you know, are set out for us every week are simple. They're not hard, and I think that they really draw us closer to Jesus and, you know, to God, but also to each other, that we can discuss them together. So it's awesome.
Thank you. Please thank Jenny.